Charleston, South Carolina was a pretty awesome RV destination for our family. We stayed at a KOA Holiday. It was actually in the city of Mount Pleasant, which is just adjacent to Charleston. And it was actually really great because it was a KOA Holiday. There's a big difference between a KOA Holiday and a KOA Journey. And as you start to travel more, you start to figure that out. But this was beautiful. It had an amazing setting. It was on the water, but it was like a lake. It was also part of a plantation, and so there was a lot of history in the land. There was a great nature trail throughout. We used the washers and dryers. Everything was clean. It was beautiful, so I highly recommend that as a destination if you are traveling in your RV. As an added feature, the KOA sits right next to go-kart racing and mini golf and a whole arcade of fun things to do. So when we had an afternoon where we didn't have much to do because we kind of had seen everything, we still had an activity and the kids had so much fun racing and checking that out. One of the first things that we did was just explore the Barrier Island beaches, which are really beautiful. They have like these great long sandy beaches, lots of different wildlife. My kids found a starfish and they also found like little seashells, and it was a lot of fun. So we spent the day out there on the Island of the Palms. We also went to St. John's Island where they have this gigantic 400-year-old oak tree, and it's what's called a living oak because it always has green leaves. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, aren't all oak trees alive? But apparently some oak trees are living because they constantly have green leaves. And this particular one was over 400 years old, and it's protected by the city of Charleston. So there's like this big fence around it. You can't sit on the tree, stand on the tree, climb the tree, but you can hug the tree and you can give the tree a kiss. So my kids were really into it. My husband thought it was beautiful. We took some really nice shots there. After that, we also went to see the Magnolia Plantation. And I did this because my son is an animal lover and they have a whole wildlife like rehabilitation rescue center where you can kind of go in and see wildlife and interact with wildlife that normally you wouldn't be able to, like deer. My son was so excited because he got to see and touch this little baby deer, and it was just walking around amongst all of the people, along with peacocks and a couple other different animals. We also got to see a corn snake up close and personal, which was a big deal because my 6-year-old is all about wanting a snake, and he was able to pet it, learn about it, and see what that was like. So the Magnolia Plantation was great for that. We also went on their tour, and it was on the tour that we got to see some alligators. And for anybody who is going to a swampy area, you want to see an alligator. So my kids were really happy to see that. They were up on these ramps and they were really close. It was like everything was within a really short distance. So it didn't feel like we were at a zoo or we were at, you know, a wild animal park. We were really out there in nature and seeing these animals in their habitat. So it was awesome. Another cool thing that we did was we took a carriage ride through the city of Charleston, and it was a haunted tour because I really like to find out like the haunted history of different towns and different cities. And apparently Charleston is one of the 3rd spookiest cities in all of America and one of the most haunted cities in all of America, next to New Orleans and Savannah, which is another place that we hope to take the RV, and I'll give you a bunch of information when we do that. The tour was really cool because we went through the different streets, we heard the different stories about what each of the locations was haunted with and why it was haunted and the history behind it. We learned about the pirates that visited Charleston, and my kids were into it. It wasn't too scary, and we went right when it was about to get dark, so it was kind of a nice spooky golden hour. We didn't wait until like it was dark because we do have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I didn't want to freak them out. But all in all, the tour was really, really great and a lot of fun and very informative. All in all, the city of Charleston was a great RV destination, but don't get caught in the city itself. Those roads are very, very small. There's lots of construction going on because the city is booming. So make sure you know where your campsite is and how to get there easily. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me places that you've been or places you want to go, and like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.